Okay, what are your thoughts on the Toronto music scene?
I think there have been improvements, but we still have very far to go. I think there needs to be more support specifically for Black artists, especially for ones who aren't necessarily making like barbecue music. And again, it's fine. Like barbecue music is good. It's necessary. Like it's fine. But there's just people are afraid to take risks. I feel like there's a big scene with a lot of women doing different music. It's like, obviously in the States, there's people making like bad bitch music. There's Nicki, there's Megan, City Girls, all these people. So like I attended Nicki's concert last year. That was sold out. She had two shows here. But then like, where is our Nicki? Like we know there's a market for it. We know this show will sell out. We know Canadians enjoy that music, but like why are we not celebrating women here making that music? Why is there no place for these women to perform that's like proper? It gets like all underground and people try their best, but some shows are janky as fuck. And it's like they deserve more. And I feel like I don't know what it is. Like I'm currently with the group trying to petition one of the organizations that gives out the grants. Because we've all noticed it's the same people getting the grants, the same like big artists like Drake and The Weeknd can very well apply to this grant pool that I and other like more upcoming artists can apply to as well. And that's not fair because it's like obviously they're gonna give it to them. Like, because in their eyes we haven't proven ourselves or whatever, but how can we if you're not giving us the chance to do that? So I hopefully that group will be able to like change some things a bit over time. But in general, I just think we need more funding because the music is good. A lot of the like those top popular American songs or the BTS song Butter, I think a Canadian girl wrote that. So it's like, like people come to us for the songs. We have the talent here, but we're just not supporting our own people enough. They say we're what's called an export market. So it's like you kind of get your training here, but then you find your success elsewhere, which I think is ridiculous, but that's what people call it.
It's funny. I think Toronto had a super super dynamic music scene when I was a kid, but we had legitimately no infrastructure. You know what I mean? Like not a pinch of infrastructure, especially when it comes to hip hop, rap music, because I think that Canada is a country that wants to portray a certain look that certain hip hop and rap at that time they didn't want to necessarily give highlight to. Especially when you have America being the the president and the leader of like what pop culture and hip hop culture and urban culture is. You know what I mean? So I think that you know, I think that it was hard in the beginning, but now it's habit. It's still hard now because we're building the infrastructure now. Because now that the people, we've begotten so much people into this country. You know what I mean? People that look like me, people that look like you, and we have so much stories to tell. And now it's kind of like there's so much stories to tell, and it's kind of hard for this country to act like there isn't. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to the form of hip hop and the form of rap. So now I feel like they're kind of trying their best to build infrastructure, but I just feel like the infrastructure is still very lacking, and there's a lot of talented artists out here, whether it's people from Scarborough, Malvern, where I'm from, or West End or Ajax Pickering. There's so much great artists, but it's just like we just don't have the right tools and the funding and acknowledgement pushed into it to birth what can be really a new, like, just a renaissance. You know what I mean? Because to some degree, like, we do have the Drakes and the Weekends, and I think those two are the biggest artists in the world. You know what I mean? Like, hands down. It's actually not really comparison. You know what I mean? You can put Kendrick Lamar in that argument now, but it's just like for the last like decade, those two guys had ran the way where music, how like the charts and what peak music is. And I think that there are only two people in a country of millions of people. You know what I mean? And those are the people that figured out a way to break out of here. But it's just like if this country gave us a launch pad to break out of here in general, then I just think that we would have a lot more opportunities to see a lot of stars. Like in the UK, like I think the UK has kind of had to be forced to acknowledge the rap and grime and this the scene there. And you guys consistently keep birthing stars. You know what I mean? And I think with the lack of infrastructure here, it's just hard to birth stars. There's a lot of great talent here, but to birth a star. It's just like it's a community effort, and I think we just lack the infrastructure to do that.
I think the people I'm around that I enjoy their music. I enjoy their music. I don't know if it's hard to say scene because like I just don't see it too much. I don't think there's a collective scene of people trying to like necessarily championing each other, but there is that to some degree. Like say for example in Melbourne, but it's hard to quantify to say that's a Toronto scene. You know what I mean? It's like people from Scarborough who come together, who are doing their things and building each other up. But I love a lot of artists from out here. But it's hard to say scene because it's hard for my brain to quantify the scene of it, and maybe that's an answer in itself. So,
that's fine.
but I love a lot of Toronto artists. You know what I mean? Of course, I always say my brother Lowercase, who actually makes good music. I think if anybody listens to his music, they'll thoroughly appreciate it. He's an artist through and through. Homegirl Jasmine Kiara, homegirl Milo. There's a whole bunch of people that I really, really appreciate that are from Toronto. So there is great music, and I'm excited to see how there can be some sort of, I don't want to use the word unity, but some sort of collective push for breaking the barriers that Toronto may have in terms of music.
I'm biased. I feel like being from New York, I feel like we're just the best place for music. You know, Biggie, Pop Smoke. Like nobody thinks about Pop Smoke. Like, bro, my attachment to Pop Smoke, that was real. He could have gone places.
How about Jay-Z and Nas?
Oh yeah.
All right, that's enough. We heard enough.
Anyway, but you get it. Yes, contributions. But I feel like no matter, even when I'm traveling, at any club, y'all always playing New York rappers. Do you know what I mean? New York, we're just top tier. We just have culture. We have culture, and I know y'all are jealous because we have culture. New York is the best fucking city here. New York, stand the fuck up. Bleep my words. I'm sorry for cursing.
I mean, currently we also have a whole West Coast, East Coast thing. So
New York is better. What can I say?
I do love New York rap, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not sure if it's better, and I don't even think New York's a better city than Toronto, but that's a whole different conversation.
Who do you have? He's saying the Toronto rap scene. I said Drake. That's all I know. Drake party next door. Sorry, I just spit. Party next door.
Fam, sweetheart, Toronto's been taking over the music game for a minute. The whole GTA. You guys got shot to The Weeknd.
Anyway,
Who has 4 billion streams on Spotify?
you did say that.
Scarborough legend, The Weeknd. I don't know one person from New York that has 4 billion streams. Thank you.
here.
Just period me.